Hey guys, give me a second. I want to make sure. See, I don't know why, but whenever I launch a stream on X, it always pushes it out twice. So maybe I'm doing something wrong, but give me a second. Okay. Okay, we're live. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitch. We're live on Kick. All right, baby. Thank you so much. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna give maybe about 5 minutes for people who are interested in this type of content to come in. I'm gonna check the audio, but if you have any questions for me, please go into the live chat and put it there, and I'll go and I'll take a look at Twitch and my Kick accounts. But you guys can ask me whatever you want, okay? About if you're interested in Hyrox, if you know what this is, I'm gonna go over it with you guys. I'm gonna show you the training, and I'm gonna show you like the exercise and the stations. And I want to get into it actually, but let's just wait. I'm gonna wait like 5 minutes, guys. Okay, I'm gonna wait 5 minutes and let everyone come in who's interested. For those of you who are watching me on Kick, thank you for coming in. Twitch, I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out. It means a whole lot. It really does, guys. I think this type of content can help people, and that's why I'm doing it, just for educational purposes. Hyrox. Okay, I'm sorry. I just pulled up the monitor so I could make sure that the audio is good. So the audio is good there. I know it's good on several other platforms. Okay. What's up with it over here on YouTube? Thank you for hanging out. We'll go a couple more minutes, guys, and just let the room build up. Let me see. Yeah. I'll have it like that. Okay. Okay, Twitch, what's good? X, thank you for hanging out with me today. Kick, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much. It means a lot. YouTube, you already know how I feel about you guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today. Now let's go ahead and get started. Now, as you can see from the title, guys, it's I survived the Hyrox, and I was invited by a family member to go and do the Hyrox. I didn't know anything about it until they brought it up. Now, they've done it before, and when they did it, they were like, you could do this. Like, I know you can do this. And I'm like, well, I don't know anything about it. And they're like, would you want to do it? And I thought, no, because I already have my own goals. You know what I'm saying? I have my own structure going to my fitness routine, and that was going to eat into my routine. Hold on. A little bit of CarMax, and as you guys see, like for those of you that have been watching me on X, you guys see that I was on a calisthenics program since June. I prioritized calisthenics because for me, it was a big priority to strengthen my back. And I've always wanted a wide back because I'm athletic and I'm like, uh, I'm athletic and I have a slender build, you know what I mean? But I'm athletic, you know? Uh, and I would just love the wide back and to just taper down, you know what I'm saying? I've always been athletic my whole life. Now, I started training, I wasn't always going to the gym. I started going to the gym like 4 years ago. It's like in my entire life, I never went. And then like 4 years ago, I started going. When I started going to the gym, I remember the first time I walked into, now we have a state-of-the-art facility here called Crunch. Those of you who know what Crunch is, it's like a United States, maybe there is some in other countries, but that I know of, I don't know. But it's a commercial gym, but it's state of the art. It's an awesome, amazing gym. If you have a Crunch in your city, go to it, and that's a great starting point. You know, when I walked in my first day, matter of fact, the person who told me to do Hyrox was the one who told me, "Hey, this is the gym I go to. Come with me," and they signed me up and I got in for free. They always have a promo, guys. So if it's your first week or your first month there, you know what I'm saying? You can get a gym membership for a penny for 30 days. Your first month will be cost you like a penny. You know, it's very cheap, guys. So uh, my first day at the gym, when they weighed me, they put me in like in like a machine where I had to hold on, and they send like photons, like light impulses through your where you're holding on to, and they measure your body weight. They like take a 3D scan of your whole body, and you get in there by yourself. They leave you in the room by yourself. You undress to your underwear, and then you hold on, and it turns you all the way around. I was 200 and like 38 pounds, 238. That wasn't the heaviest I've always been. Now, I'm a big guy. I'm tall. I'm 6'4". So to me, 230 didn't look fat. You know what I mean? I had I was like skinny fat, right? I didn't look fat at all. I didn't, because I was so tall. I am so tall. And I had like 34% body fat, you know? Uh, so that's how I started going to the gym. And when I started going to the gym, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I would just go, and if I saw a machine that was open, I'll try it. And if the machine was open, that was just a perfect opportunity for me to learn the machine. You know, even if the popular ones like the lag pull downs, the chest presses, the overhead presses, you know, those machines were always taken. You know what I mean? Because those are the popular ones. And then they even had, man, Crunch is awesome. Crunch is awesome, guys. Like if you go to Crunch, they have all the equipment. You know, they had tricep extensions. Man, it's just it's a wonderland for gym goers. You know. Now, I kept doing that, like training like a gym bro. I was just doing that machine exercises, no cardio at all. Uh, And then I lost weight, but then I gained it back because I started bulking, and I was thick, and I was a thick. So when I started working out, I went from like 236, 234 down to 190. Bro, but it took me like 6 to 7 months to get there, you know? And then I started bulking, like I started getting bigger, and I climbed back up to 228. Now I was not fat, I was thick. I was thick, and I remember looking at myself in the mirror like, you're thick, man. You're thick from your chest, you're thick from your side, you're thick from everywhere. But you're back up to where you started, you know, and I didn't like the look. I did not like the thickness. I didn't like it. It just wasn't me. When I looked at myself in the mirror, I just didn't, it wasn't who I envisioned I wanted to be, you know? So I started doing cardio. I got into boxing, and boxing changed my life. It changed my life. It really pushed me to be more disciplined, to be accountable, and it introduced cardio to me. What's gangster about cardio Let me tell you a funny story. When I first started doing cardio, man, I saw like a YouTube channel. You need to be very careful, guys, what you see on the internet, because a lot of it's fake. A lot of it is fake, bro. It's fake, and these people make content just for clicks and views, and it's fucking fake. You need to be very careful. So I saw this video on YouTube, and I started getting into running, and the video was uh, I ran a 5K for 30 days, you know. And 5K is only 3 miles, you know, and I was like, I can do that. And I did it. I did it with no training, nothing. I got up to like day, no rest, no rest. I was doing it every day. Now, remember, as somebody who doesn't run at all, I ran like 12 days. When I got to day 12, when I woke up on day 13, I couldn't even get out of bed. My left knee, like I couldn't even put no fucking pressure on it. Like I could not walk. You know, I couldn't fucking walk. I continued running on a treadmill. I continued running as best as I can up until day 18. So at day 12, I don't know what happened to my knee. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's because I was never recovering. I was under eating. I wasn't taking enough sodium, but I wasn't cramping up. It was like I was just uh, it wasn't pain. It was not an injury. It was just a sharpness in my left knee. Every time I would put weight on it, I felt it hurt. And I would still go to the fucking gym and run on it. And I just thought, I remember talking to my cousin about it, and that nigga told me, pain is just weakness leaving the body. And he hung up on me. I'm not making it up. He just hung up on me. And I thought, okay, I guess it's supposed to hurt. You know, like, okay, let me keep going. I'm almost halfway there. I lasted till day 18. And then on day 18, when I woke up, like on day 19, I kind of started listening to my body, you know, and you're going to be very careful, guys. And that's all I advise you guys to do is listen to your fucking body. You know what I mean? If your body is telling you stuff, you need to listen. You understand? Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Yes, guys. So let me put the mute on because I can hear an echo, okay? I don't think browser display. Okay, I don't need that. Okay, guys, hold on. I'm clearing up some of the chat. Okay, all right, I got it. Okay, give me one second. Okay, I just want to make sure the chat doesn't go down, okay? Or the stream doesn't. So I'm checking my live feed across platforms. Now I am working on something to where I can combine all of my streams on one screen, and I can see which one's on. And now I'm also going to put the live chat on the streams now, but I'll probably do that sometime next week. I just don't feel like I get enough volume of chat to put that on my display. But again, my cousin just hung up on me and said, pain is just weakness leaving the body. And I was like, all right then, nigga, I guess. There's so much for fucking support, right? I was like, all right then. Okay. Hold on. Let me go ahead and pull this up to make sure I'm still live. All right. All right. But let's keep going. Anyways, so I kept going, but by like day 19, I woke up and I said, you know, I gotta listen to my body. If I can't even fucking walk, if I have to hold on to the bed when I'm walking around it, I was scared to take a shower because I didn't want to slip. And I have a tile shower, you know, kind of like a tub shower, but it's made out of tile. and I have to kind of pick up my leg like 90 degrees to step into it. And I was scared to get in the shower. You know what I mean? Because I thought I was gonna fall, and I didn't have like strength enough. For some reason, it's just what happens to me when I put shampoo in my hair. You know, and I close my eyes and I'm doing this, I get a little vertical, you know, so I kind of like get a little dizzy, you know, and it's just a briefly when I'm in the shower. Now imagine that on fucking weak legs, nigga. Like you could really hurt yourself if you step a wrong way and then you slip and then now you can't go to the gym. So I didn't go to the gym. Like I did not make the 30-day challenge, but I learned a lot. You know what I mean? And just because I didn't make the challenge didn't mean that I quit. I listened to my body, and remember, I just started getting into the gym, and this is gonna come full circle, guys. So I'm starting from the beginning, you know, because the thumbnail to the to the stream says I survived a Hyrox and I didn't train. You know what I mean? I didn't train for it. Like uh, that's unheard of. You know what I mean? But don't get it twisted. Don't think that I just got up off of the fucking couch and just with no years of no background of fitness level, cardio, strength training, discipline, consistency, that I went ahead and I fucking finished it. Because by no means is it possible. I'm sure it could be done. You know what I mean? But I would not suggest it. I would not suggest it. And here's why. Now I'm going to get into the Hyrox, guys. You know what I mean? And a great deal of respect and acknowledgement to these athletes. This is not CrossFit. This is something totally different. And I'm going to go ahead and show you. Okay? Here we go. Now I'm on X. Okay? Now this is the live stream. Now I'm going to show you what we did. Okay? Here we go. This was our exercise. Okay? This is what we had to do. Okay? Right here. And it was awesome. It was I didn't get to go the first leg. I went, I think, 3 legs down. So I started like an hour and a half after the first wave went, you know. So excuse me, the first wave would go, and then they'll allow them to go, and then 30 minutes after they go, the next wave goes. So you won't lap the people. So there's someone behind you who needs to use a machine. That won't happen, you know. But so for me, like I said, and I didn't get into my background of running, you know, but around when I was boxing, when I started learning how to box, around that time, like I was already running a lot. I was running a lot. Like I started running after I recovered from like the 30-day challenge that I didn't meet, the 5K for 30 days. I didn't do it. I recovered. I would still go to the gym, but I wouldn't train legs. You know, I just would do curls and did what I did, right? I would use the resistance cable. That was my favorite machine. The resistant cables, the ones that I have two handles on each side, and the pin, the weights with the pin, I could go to that machine and stay there for a fucking hour and a half. There's so many different exercises you can do where you can hit chest, you can hit, you know, obliques, you can do rotational exercises, you can hit triceps, etc., etc., etc. So that's what I was doing. Now, I started running a lot. I started running a whole lot, or I was running long distances. I was probably averaging. Now, remember, I don't have a background in running or in fitness or exercising yet, because I was probably working out for about a year and a half when I got into running long distances. And it started off by like, I would run 3 miles, like a 5K, and then I would think, well, I feel good. And then honestly, I would be like, well, I don't want to go home. Like, what am I going to do at the house? Let me run 5 miles, or let me run 4, or then I'd run 4, and I would be like, well, I still feel good. Let me run an extra. And that extra just kept growing and growing and growing. and my average was 8. The reason my average was 8 miles is because I ran at the university, the local university, and they have this trail that goes around the entire campus, you know, and people go there and walk all the time. They take their dogs, whatever, right? And it goes around the entire university. It goes around a public park. It goes around like a softball interplex, like a softball fields, and then it goes around a duck pond. It's a beautiful thing, you know what I mean? It's a beautiful trail. One lap around that is about 4 miles. It's like a little under 4 miles, but I would add to it. Like I would go a long way. I would run through the parking lot to make it 4 miles. So I would go twice, you know. But in those times when I would run, I would like run in like 100-degree heat. I would run in like uh, all types of hours of the day. You know what I mean? To my longest run that I ever did was 21 miles. I started like at 6 p.m. and I kept running to like 1:30 in the morning, you know, but I completed 21 miles. Nobody told me to do it. I just did it. I ran 12 miles and I was like, oh, 12 is good. Then I was like, well, let me, the sun was already down. And I was like, uh, let me go take a break. And I went to Subway. I slammed the fucking foot long. You know, I slammed it, you know, and then I got me some Mountain Dew. I brought me 2 Mountain Dews. I drank one and then I kept running. And I would just go 2 miles at a time, 2 miles at a time. And I would say, okay, once I got to mile 18, I was like, well, you're almost close to 20, go one. And I would go 1 mile at a time, 1 mile. And once I got to 19, okay, I'll go 20. Nigga, you already ran 20 miles, you know, run an extra one, fuck it, you know? And that's like, that was just my mindset, guys. I'm just crazy like that. Like, I just have this creativity thought process of like, what's next? Okay, and then where would we go from here? Okay, now what else can we do, right? So that's my mentality. So I was running a whole lot. I was probably running maybe about 25 to 30 miles a week. Now that's not a lot, but like I said, I come from no background of running. You know what I mean? No background. To me, that was a lot. I was running about, you know, 4 times a week, sometimes 5, and running about 6 to 8 miles a day, you know, something like that, right? Um, and then boxing, I got into boxing, and boxing just changed my life, you know. Uh, that really taught me a lot of discipline and self-control. It taught me how to breathe. It taught me how to use my entire body as a weapon. Like to throw a punch, it really starts from your toes. If you're on your toes, it really starts from there. You know what I'm saying? And it just taught me a great deal. It made me who I am today. You know what I mean? Because I gained a lot of respect from amateurs when I would spar with them. I thought they were trying to set me up, but this is what you got to do, guys. If you want to get into boxing, find somebody who cares about you, who's in the sport, who cares about you and your health, because they will not let you get hurt. If they look at you and they see you on the mitts, they see you in the drills, they see your conditioning, they see you don't quit, they see that you're not gonna quit, they see something in you and they're like, he has that it, you know. Now somebody might set you up and just maybe want to see you get your ass kicked or want you to be humbled, and they might tell you you're ready for sparring and you're not ready for sparring, and they're going to put you in there with somebody who's almost borderline professional, and you're going to get your fucking ass mopped in front of everybody, you know. So I was very fortunate that I found somebody, or he found me, and he trained me for 10 months of boxing before he said, you're ready. You're ready to spar, bro, because I see you and you don't give up. You have a fucking motor. You don't stop. And nigga, you will not give up, you know? And he took very good care of me. Like he made sure, like he grew my confidence. You know what I'm saying? Because for somebody who's starting off in combat sports, and you put them in boxing or you put them in sparring and they don't know how to fight, bro, that can kill their will to learn, their determination, their enthusiasm of the sport. It can kill it like that. And some of the people who are in boxing gyms, believe it or not, that's what they want, bro. They don't want you to be in the fucking gym. You know, they like see people and for some reason, you know, it's human nature, bro. They like hate on other people for whatever fucking reason, whether it be the car you drive or because you have a difference of opinion of the sport, or it could even be just how you fucking look. Let's say you're a minority and you walk into a fucking an all-white gym. Or let's say you're in an all-white gym and you know you understand like, and you come in a certain way dressed, they're gonna look at you, bro, and it's just human nature. You know, they're gonna be like, whatever, whatever. But this guy, he took very good care of me. You know what I mean? I believe I gained his respect because I was authentic. You know, I did not ever think once I was learning, I never thought that I was like the shit. I was very humble. Anytime he gave me compliments, I was like, dude, you're just being nice, man. You're just being nice. He's like, no, I'm serious, whatever. You're just being nice, bro. Thank you, but I appreciate it. He's like, nah, bro. He's like, man, these drills we just did, these circuits, a lot of amateurs can't do them. And you didn't quit, nigga. I was watching you the whole time. I was waiting for you to quit, and you did not quit. You kept moving. You know, a lot of amateurs cannot finish these drills, and you did. So that lasted. He trained me for about 7 to 10 months. I can't recall, but it was a long time. You know what I mean? And then he moved. He moved. Shout out to him, man. He was from Riverside, California. Shout out to him, bro. He really taught me a lot. I give it up to Michael. His name is Michael, man. Very humble guy. Very humble amateur, and he would tell me how hard it is to get fights. He would tell me how extremely hard it is to get fights when you're an amateur. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it looks like X just went down. That's okay. Okay. So, and I remembered everything he trained, like everything he showed me. And when he moved, I just kept doing it. I kept doing it. I would still go to the gym and I would keep doing it. I kept doing it. And then, of course, like you start thinking, well, I need to get better. I need to do other things. And I started implementing like endurance, everything from my running long distances to boxing to things that I like doing. I no longer started training. I don't even lift weights anymore. And I have not lifted weights since probably yesterday. So honestly, I haven't lifted any weights since probably May. But even when I was going to the gym, I wouldn't ever get dumbbells. I never did bench presses. I never did barbell squats, you know what I mean? But I use the barbell a lot for just body weight exercises or rotational exercises, like a lot of boxing exercises, you know what I mean? Because I like my athletic frame. I don't want to be bulky and restricted. I want to be able to move. I want to be explosive. I want flexibility. I don't want to be restricted with bulk. And to me, that's not sustainable as you get older. You see these big old gym guys like Jay Cutler, Rodney Coleman, even Arnold Schwarzenegger, they get older, bro, and then they get that flabby look, and I don't like that. You know, like that's not natural to me, and I speak for myself. It does not work for me. Maybe to some other people, that's what they want, and I don't have any disrespect or do I think I'm better than them at all. I'm talking about my experience and what worked for me, and this is going to come full circle, guys. Believe me, I just need you to know the beginning of my fitness journey and why or how I was able to complete this crazy ass fucking workout, you know, in an hour and 20 minutes with no training. I say that I didn't train because I did not train. I did not train for this, you know, but my discipline and me going to the gym for the past 4 years prepared me for that, you know, and I was able to complete it because of that. The long distances, when I told you I would run, you know, 12 miles, that's like running straight, bro, for 5 hours at a heart rate of 140, 150 sometimes, you know? And if you can find a comfortable pace, and then that seems like a lot, bro. And that's something that like people who lift weights will never understand, because when they do sets and reps, They work out for maybe 30 seconds to a minute, and then they sit down on their phone for 5 minutes in between sets. When you're running, nigga, you can't fucking sit down. You don't fucking rest, nigga. You're gonna keep running and running and running and running until whatever, until the end of your mile. Meaning you're gonna have to put in effort. You run 1 mile, let's just say the average pace for 1 mile is let's just say 12 minutes, 10 minutes, fuck it, 12 minutes. Okay, that's a slow pace. That's a very, very, very comfortable space, 12 pace, 12-minute mile. You know, just to keep your heart rate at 120, 130 for 12 minutes, these guys can't do it. You know, because they don't train like that. They train for mass, for bulk. You understand? These guys, man, these Hyrox people, I don't know anything about CrossFit, but you can probably throw them in there too. You know what I mean? These guys train for muscle endurance, meaning how long can you use your muscles for? How long is your muscles, your strength gonna go? Okay, nigga, you're good. Okay, the first rep, back. Even the first 10, 15 reps, okay, you're pushing it out. Okay, but what about rep 60, rep 70, and you still gotta keep going? You understand, you need a cardio base. You need a base of cardio. And what's going to happen is you're going to thin out. You're going to thin out and have more muscle because you're getting rid of the mass. The mass is just gravity. More gravity is just more of it's just more mass that gravity can pull down, and it's working against you. You understand? But these gym guys, they use the mass to help them push more mass. You understand? So they get bulky so they can carry more weight. They can be more massive. You understand? Once you get into athletic training, your body's going to thin out because now you're talking about endurance, muscle endurance. You understand? So as soon as we started, we started like around, I think my legs started like at 8:30, I believe. You have to run 2 laps, 2 laps, 800 meters. As soon as you're done, you don't rest, guys. You don't rest. This entire thing, you do not rest. You don't rest at all. You don't rest until you finish. Now, you can like, I did it wisely because I knew I didn't train like this. So what I would do, like after a station, I would walk. I would walk maybe 20 seconds to the start line to where you had to run, and I would walk, and then, okay, so we ran the first lap. Okay, did the 1,000 skiers, and that was tough. I ain't never done that before. Never done it. Never. You know what I'm saying? I was very fortunate. It was my first time, guys. It was tough. You know what I mean? I don't know what muscles you use. When you're pulling, I don't know which one, but I try to use, like, of course, when you're skiing, for me, when I finished the skier, I felt it in my triceps. Like when I finished it, I felt it. When I went to run my second 800 meters, my triceps were on fire, and I was like, okay, I'm pulling. Okay. Now I finished the second, I ran my first mile, and then I did the lunges. Right now, I'm 180 pounds. I'm 180 pounds right now. You had to get a 35-pound dumbbell and do lunges for 12 lengths. Now, when I say 12 lengths, I don't mean 12 lunges. So one length is like there's a line on one side, and then there's a line on the other side. And one length could be, depending on your stride, could be, 6 to 7 reps. You know what I mean? Till you get to one side. You know what I'm saying? And then that's one stride. You got to turn around and come back where you started. And that could be another 7 to 8, 6 reps. And that's 2 strides. Do you get it? Now you got to do that for 12 strides. That's about 80 reps, bro. 80 reps of lunges after you already ran a motherfucking mile. Do you understand that? When I finished that was barely my second fucking station. My legs were spaghetti, And like I said, since June 1st, I have not done one motherfucking squat. I have not done one motherfucking lunge. All I've been doing push-ups and pull-ups. That's it. Shadow boxing a little bit, but I would feel it too when I was shadow box. When I was going to the gym and doing everything, like I could shadow box straight for like, oh man, I could shadow box probably for 30 minutes straight. You know what I mean? But since I stopped going to the gym in the last 2 months, now I would shadow box for like 3-5 minutes, and I would feel winded. You know, I'd be like, wow, I need to start training harder. But then I would tell myself, dude, 90 days, you told yourself you're gonna give this calisthenics program. Give it 90 days, you know? So I'm disciplined enough to not throw out that routine and then, you know, start adding more stuff, because my goal was very specific for 90 days, and that was to do calisthenics. The goal was to do 10 clean pull-ups, you know, as a rep by the end of the 90 days, you know. So when I finished those lunges and it was time for me to run again, holy shit, that was probably the hardest 800 meters I ever did. You know, I even walked some of it. But thank God, because of my stride and because of my motor, I could probably walk a 13-mile tired, a walk at a fast pace. So that's what kept me in. You know what I mean? Because when I needed to rest during my run, you know, I was able to rest. You know, I walked that entire the third leg. The third 800 miles, the 800 meters, the third one, I walked it. I couldn't have, like, my legs were spaghetti. You know what I mean? They were fucking spaghetti. I could not. My calves were like, especially the top of my knees, like where my lower hamstrings were at. Damn, man, they were tingly and weak. I needed to recover. I took that time to recover, you know. Then after that, guys, the third station, 12 link burpees. Never in my life have I ever done burpees. The first time I ever did a burpee was yesterday. Do you understand that? Let me say that again. The first time I ever did a burpee in my entire life was that time. You know, it was awesome. You know, I never done it before. Hey, hello, Jana. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support. That means a lot to me. Thank you. I'm doing great. I'm doing awesome. I feel good. I'm not as sore as I was, but I'll get to that here in a second. You know what I'm saying? But thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. OX, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It means a lot. All right. Jana, thank you. I'm doing great. I've survived. Great. I survived. Okay, I'm on leg 3, guys. I survived. Okay. Okay, let me enter that. Give me 1 second. Okay, we're on station 3 right now. Yeah, we're on station 3 right now. Give me 1 second. Appreciate the comment, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Over here on Twitch, YouTube, appreciate it. Kick. All right, baby. Thank you. Okay, as we get back into it, guys, okay? Thank you so much for the comment, guys. It really means a lot to me. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Okay, we're on the third leg. Okay, we're on the third leg. We're on the third leg. Give me 1 second. Ask me anything. All right. So my legs are spaghetti. My legs are spaghetti. I'm in the third station now. I'm on third station. Burpee broad jumps. So a burpee broad jump, you go down to a burpee, you know. Now, you go down to a burpee and then you jump. So when you get back up to your feet, you have to jump off both legs. Remember, we just did fucking lunges. I probably did, I don't know how many fucking reps of lunges when I've never even done lunges in since May, you know. And I used to do it with a 30-pound dumbbell, and I would hold it over my head, and I would do 6. 6 would be a set for me. So I'd go 3 one way and 3 back. Anyways, uh, I had a great game plan, and I knew going into it, I'm very realistic. I knew even like I didn't let my ego get the best of me. I didn't think, oh, well, I box and my condition and I can run. I ran 20 miles and I can do this and I can do. I knew you don't do nothing like this. Your training is totally different than what they do. You're in their house now. You know, you're stepping out of your comfort zone and what you're used to. You know, what you think is hard, now you're stepping into a whole different motherfucking world. You know what I mean? This is what these niggas do. This is what, when they go to the gym, this is what they do. They're in their comfort zone. You're not. I did not go over there with no ego at all. I was very humble, nervous, eager, a little intimidated because I never done burpees before. How am I gonna look to them? And you're doing this, guys, in front of an audience. There's people there watching you, not only other athletes, but there's an audience. They have their support system there. They got their families there. There's people there watching you. There's people recording. You know, so I couldn't have live streamed it, guys. There would have been no way I could have live streamed it. You know, I asked the guy afterwards, and he's like, "Yeah, I wouldn't mind." And I was like, "Well, where are they gonna sit? Where are they gonna be? Where can they record me?" And he kind of smiled, and he's like, "Yeah, you're kind of right." He was like, "Well, I was just, you know," but he was just being nice. And shout out to them guys, because even though I said I've never done a burpee before, I've never done, you know, skiers before. It, if they wanted to, they could have showed me, but I didn't ask. You know, I just watched. I watched them how to do a burpee, and believe it or not, guys, on YouTube before, when my family member told me, you know, hey, I signed you up. She showed me this. She showed me this, and I was like, okay, I've never done burpee broad jumps. Let me look it up and see how it is. And I went to like a Hyrox YouTube channel, and I learned from watching them, and I got like secrets from them, you know. And I was like, okay, I understand a burpee is not a push-up, and and a lot of people fuck up, and they waste a lot of their energy because they're not doing burpees, they're doing push-ups to a burpee, you know. And a burpee's not a push-up. So remember, we're on station 3 now. On station 3, you understand? I get up, you know, I get there and I do my first burpees. You know what I mean? Now I'm 6'4", and I'm dressed in all blue. I got my Duke Kyrie Irvings on. I got my NBA socks. I'm dressed like a fucking G, like a baller. You know what I mean? Do I jump far? No, I don't. Because I didn't go over there with no ego. My goal, guys, my goal was to finish. That's it. I just wanted to finish. When I did the burpees were tough. The burpees were tough. You know, jumping. So it says for 12 links, guys. So that there again, let me explain that. You start behind the line, and I would jump, bah, jump, and then go down to a burpee. You know what I mean? And then get up. Now, what I would do when I would get up, guys, I wouldn't do a push up at all. I would like, kind of like come up from my belly, from my hips, from my belly up, and then bring my chest up. But then right when I was gonna stand up, I'll bring one leg forward. I would not hop like from a plank position. I would not hop to my legs. I would bring one leg up and then bring the other one up. And then from there I would jump, you know? So you would start behind one line, and then you'd have to get to the other line. You'd have to pass the line on a jump. So like if you jumped and got right up until the line, you had to do another burpee and jump over it. That did not count. You could not walk over the line. They would tell you you got to do another one. And there's people there watching you, making sure you're running to your station, making sure you're completing the sets. If you're not doing a set, they'll no rep, no rep. They're there, no rep, no rep. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to be true to yourself. You can't lie to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for the comments. That means a whole lot, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for checking in. That's cool. Thank you. Let me pull this up right there. All right. Yeah, because it looks like my head's not in the way. But anyways, yeah, where am I at? Okay, burpee broad jumps. Okay, so you would go, till you get to one side, and then that's one length. So like for me, maybe 6 to 7 burpees would get me to the other length. You know what I mean? Now I'm not jumping far. I'm probably jumping about 3 to 4 feet. Now I'm tall. I'm 6'4". Could I have jumped further? Yeah, but remember, guys, I'm on spaghetti legs. The second leg, the second station after running a mile to do those fucking lunges with a 35-pound dumbbell, that fucking sucked, dude. That sucked because I have not trained legs since May because I prioritize, pull-ups. I just want to strengthen my back. Now I'll get into that later, guys, because people are going to ask me, "Oh, well, you can do so." Yeah, I could, okay, but I look at my training as the broad range. Like I don't look at it like a month. Like some people would think, oh, you got to go to the gym every day and you got to go 6 times a week. Maybe if you're just starting off, maybe I would tell somebody so they can build some type of consistency and like an idea of what work ethic is, gym work ethic is. Okay, so I would tell somebody who's just starting off, because I'm a certified personal trainer. I don't do that for a living, but I am certified, guys, by ISLA, ISSA. It's a school out of Arizona, and I got my international certificate to be a personal trainer, guys. If I was training somebody for the first time and they didn't have no gym experience, no fitness level at all, I would probably tell them, like, you want to build consistency. I would tell you to come to the gym 5 to 6 days a week. But do you need to go to the gym 5 to 6 days a week? Fuck no, you don't. You don't. But for somebody starting off, I would maybe just for that reason. But if I trust them enough, I would think 3 days a week is enough if you train hard, meaning you train to maybe 1 rep, 2 reps to failure. I don't want to get into that today about this. I didn't come over here to educate people on how to lift and how to train. I wanted to talk about this, but I want to go full circle into my journey because this is what helped me. Because the thumbnail can be deceiving, guys. It could be very deceiving because it's like, oh, he didn't train. This nigga don't train at all. Like, no, I've been training for the past 4 years. It's just what I do. You understand? This is what helped me get to it. There's no discredit to Hyrox or like it was an easy fucking workout, because it wasn't easy. By far, it was not. Was it one of the hardest things I've done? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I would say boxing, 3-minute rounds for 12 rounds. That's probably one of the hardest things I've ever done, because I've experienced almost fainting, to where you're lightheaded, your body temperature rises, but you got to stay disciplined and to remind yourself to breathe. Remember your training, you got to move, and you can rest by movement. And that's what got me through this, resting while moving, to keep moving, but you're resting because you can control your breathing and you know how to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth if you can. So that's what I'm saying about the burpees, guys. The burpees, I think my biggest jump was my last line. Like, I remember my friend was there and she says, it's your last burpee if you can jump over that line. And I asked her, do you think I can do it? And she said, well, let's see. And that was probably my longest jump, but that was my last jump, So then we finished burpees, and then we have to run again. I'm still fucking sore from the lunges, guys. I'm still fucking sore. Like, I'm tired. I run the first lap, the first 400 meters, because I felt like I need to pick up the pace because maybe we're behind. And by now we're probably at minute 25, 26. And I thought there was a leg behind us, So we started like at 8 p.m. The elite athletes were starting at 8:30. I did not want them to lap us, So the fourth leg, we ran it, you know. Then after that, we did, this is where we fucked up, you know, but that's okay because we finished our reps. We went from leg 4 and I did farmer carries after I finished my second mile, my fourth 800-meter leg. I didn't go to I didn't go to a 100-meter row. I didn't go there. I got the farmer carries. I got my weights. You know what I mean? And there, I got 235-pound weights. You know what I mean? 235 pounds. Grabbed them and walked with them. I think it was a 200-meter. You know what helped me, guys? I don't know if you guys that have been here had seen me live stream last year. I used to live stream me going to the gym. I used to live stream my farmer carries, guys. I don't know whether you guys remember. If you guys do remember, let me know in the chat that you used to watch me in my live streams from last year exercising, you know, because I would live stream them. Let me see. I don't think I can find them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so, guys. Give me 1 second. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay, but believe me, there's evidence, guys. There's evidence there that last year I used to live stream me going to the gym, and I would live stream for like 3 hours. Kick was awesome. When I would live stream doing on Kick with my fitness, man, the chat's active. You know, that was awesome. I think my biggest live stream on Kick was 400 viewers on Kick, and I was just working out. You know, it was cool. Kick is awesome, guys. Now, the farmer carries, because of, I used to box for 12 rounds, you know, and then after that, I would go on our farmer carry, 235 pounds. I would walk it, you know, 25 yards, turn around and walk it back. And I would do that for 2 sets. That's a lot, baby. That's a lot after boxing. I don't think people understand how hard boxing is. You know, just throwing punches and throwing them right, throwing them using your whole body, because a lot of people use their arms when they punch. They're just rah, rah, and you're gonna gas out. People who fight like that, just using their arm like that, they won't last in a real fight. Now, granted, if they land a lucky punch, yeah, bro, anyone can get knocked out. You know what I mean? You know, but a boxer can learn how to take the power off of a shot if they turn with the shot. Meaning, if you get hit, like a lot of people's reaction when they get punched is to tighten up and to stay stiff. And they get hit and they like stay like this and they fight the punch. Meaning, when the punch is coming this way, they're gonna fight it and try to stay here. The way you take the power off is if you kind of lean back, and if you get hit, you're gonna turn with it. So if you get hit like this, right, you're gonna turn with it. And that kind of loads you up for offense, because once you turn, if your hands are in the right place, you're turning and you've already coiled up. You've already in a defense position, you've coiled your hips and your whole body to either return, to counter, or whatever opening. And the possibilities are endless, guys. They're endless. So I don't want to go into that of boxing and how you counter, you know what I mean? But that's how you take the power out of a shot, is you turn with the shot. So if you get hit this way, you're gonna turn with it. Your whole body's gonna turn with it. You know what I mean? And boxing 12 rounds for 3 minutes. And I used to do, sometimes I would do 30-second planks in between my 1 minute rest. So after I'd finish a round, I would go into a plank position for 30 seconds, you know, get up and rest for 30 and then go box again. That would be my rest, a 30-second plank with a 30-second rest. So farmer carrying 235 pounds on a trap bar for 25 yards, turning around, coming another 25 yards, really prepared me for that, because I was resting the entire time. I had 235 pounds on each side. So I was a total of 70 pounds. And I walked it the entire way like nothing. like nothing. I rested that entire time, and that's when my second leg kicked in. Like by that time, I've already rested from the lunges. I already rested from it. Now we ran again. Now because I took off maybe a half a mile, like I was walking it, but I was walking fast. I was moving, and I was not walking. I was walking fast, like I gotta keep a pace. You know what I mean? Finished finished the fifth leg of my 800-mile run, and now we get into sled pulls. You know what I'm saying? Now the sled pulls was 4 plates of 45 plus the sled, which is probably going to come out to 235. That wasn't that hard, guys. Like, and I know after everything that I've done already, like the farmer carries, the broad jumps, the walking lunges, and then pushing sleds at the end of all that running, believe it or not, for me, guys, it wasn't that hard. Like the links, it's the same thing, guys. You're pushing 235 pounds, 245 pounds, and you're pushing it to a distance that they tell you it was probably like 7 or 8 strides, you know. So I would lock out. A lot of people kind of hold it behind like their elbows. I locked out and I would push it, you know. For me, it works. It works for me. And I use leverage. I lean into it, and I use as much as my body weight to just kind of lean up against the poles of the sleds, and I just drive with my feet. Now, I used to do this. For those of you who know and would watch my live streams, guys, you guys would see me live stream this. I live stream my entire fitness sessions, like uncut, for 3.5 hours, guys. If there are those of you who know, you would know. And I hope the archive's still there. My live stream feed on X should still be there, but who knows? I started on X Spaces. I started talking to people on X Spaces, and I remember like hardly anyone would come, you know, but I would still talk. Like people were showing up, and it really prepared me for even to do this, to live stream. I always wanted to live stream, but I didn't have a setup for it. I didn't have any idea how to live stream. So the farmer carries, believe it or not, guys, for me wasn't that hard, like, because I trained myself. Now notice what was hard for me was the stuff that I didn't train, like the walking lunges, like my hamstrings, my quads, because I haven't done any fucking squats since May. So then I run. So now we're on our last 2 legs, you know. Now, if you see the fourth leg, it says 1,000-meter row. I skipped it. Like I skipped it. We went into farmer carries, you know, and then we did farmer carries, sled pulls, and then we did the 1,000-meter row at 6, and then the 7th was wall balls. You know what I mean? But the guys were cool. They're like, man, as long as you get your reps in, that's fine. Like it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? And this was like a demo. This was like a practice race for the people who do Hyrox, because there's going to be a big one in Austin or in Houston. There's a big one in Houston in a couple of months. And all these athletes here locally, they're training for that. This is what they were doing. This is their demo, right? So I'm on the 6th. So I'm on my 3rd mile, guys. And this is where I start picking it up. The 3rd mile, like we ran those, you know, and then we did the 1,000-meter row 6, you know what I mean? Because I fucked up and I went out of order, but that was all right. That was cool. Like they were like, it's all right as long as you're doing your reps, that's fine. You're not in anybody's way. That's cool. Don't worry about it. And we're like, okay, cool. Thank you. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's just a demo, right? Our first time, they were very, very welcoming. Man, these guys were awesome. Let me go ahead and make sure my phone don't die. But yeah, these guys were awesome, man. They really showed us the ropes and like welcomed me into their gym. Like I did not feel out of place there at all. I did not feel like I did not belong at all. They were very encouraging throughout. They cheered you on throughout. There's people at every station throughout, even when you're running, and they're cheering you on. They had food vendors there. They had photo booths. Man, it was gangster, bro. It was G'd up. Now I finished my third mile, and I would get into the 1,000 meter row. Bam, bam, and I'm gonna show you that. Okay, the 1,000 meter row. You know what? We'll do it here in a second. Now we're right here, the 1,000 meter row. But we're right here. But this one came down here. Now, when I wanted to start doing pull-ups, I started strengthening my back. Like I started doing exercises that strengthening my back, like inverted rows. I started doing actual pull-ups at the gym. I would do 5 sets of 2. I could only do 2 clean pull-ups at that time. And like at May, I would do 2 and rest, and then I'll drop down and do 10 push-ups. So I would do the David Goggins nickels and dimes, but I could not do nickels. I could not do 5 reps of pull-ups. I couldn't do them. I could only do 2 clean reps, 2 clean. And then as soon as I'll do 2, I'll drop down and do 10 push-ups. And I would do that 4 sets. I would make sure to get 10 clean pull-ups when I'd be at the gym, 10 clean ones. Now, when I got to like rep to set 4, set 5, sometimes I couldn't do 2. So I would do a set of 1, and then I would do sets of 1 until I got 10 clean pull-ups. And that's what I did. After I would do pull-ups, I would go to the row machine, and I would just go. I would go for 15 minutes. I promise you guys, I know that sounds crazy. People would be like, after boxing, after pull-ups, you would go and row for 15 minutes? Yeah, I would. And I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Like, I would not think. I would just do it. Once I started coming up with the term and I started reading about junk volume, like you're doing too much volume of one thing. It's too much, it's junk volume. If you're training with purpose and structure and you're doing clean reps and you're doing that mind muscle connection, you shouldn't need that much output. If you just simplify it and do certain exercises and do them very well for reps and controlled, you don't need all these extra exercises. You understand? And that's where the idea came from, like, well, I'm gonna do calisthenics. So after I would do like 12 rounds of boxing, I'll go do my pull-ups. I'll go and I'll do the row machine for 15 minutes to 12 minutes. I would do 15 and then I backed it down to 12. And then I backed it down to 10, because I was like, man, I didn't like being at the gym for 3 fucking hours. You know what I mean? Like, I hated it. I liked it in the beginning, but then like, it's just too much. And I started taking on more like of a responsibility. My workload outside of the gym started increasing. And honestly, when I would do the pull-ups, when I would do like my reps of 2, there'd be people back there watching me, and I would be embarrassed, guys. I'd be embarrassed, to be honest with you, because I would feel like they would be watching me. They're like, man, this dude over here, he boxes so well, or whatever. He boxes, he ain't shit, whatever the case they say. He boxed 12 rounds, and then he goes over there and does pull-ups, and he can barely even do 2. I was embarrassed, guys. But what made me keep going was my structure. Like, dude, you can't rest. You cannot wait for them to leave to start exercising. They're not even exercising. Those people are just there. They've been stretching there for the past 40 minutes. They've been laying down. I don't know what the fuck those guys are doing over there, but they're not exercising. A lot of people just go. There's this specific, at Crunch, there's this area that's like made out of like fake grass. We call it turf. And that's where you do the sled pulls. That's where like all the boxing equipment's at. And people go back there to stretch for whatever reason. I would go to a studio. Like Crunch has like this room that's just mirrors everywhere. And there's a lot of TRX cable. There's a lot of TRX ropes there. A lot of people go in there for like stretching. That's where I would go. That's where I would do my planks and my core exercises in there. And that's where I would shadow box, because nobody's in there. I don't know why they would go back there. And it's just what it is, guys. Like, I don't pay attention to people, but I could see them. And every time I would look, I'd be like, man, that guy's still on his phone. Man, that guy's still doing that same, I don't know what he's doing, but okay, that I don't understand. But it's not my business to understand that. Like, I don't know what they're doing, right? So I was embarrassed. But what kept me going was my structure saying, you got to keep your heart rate going, dude. You like, this is bare. You still got to be here for another hour. We still got to push sleds. We still got to farmer care. We still got to do planks. We still got to run on a treadmill on an incline. We still have to train triceps. Like, you got to go. And once I would focus on that, I would be embarrassed. But once I'd be in the act of moving, when I'm actually performing, it would leave my mind. Like, I wouldn't care if they were watching me, because they would know, man, this dude was over there boxing. I've been watching him for 30 minutes. Yeah, I've been watching him for 30 minutes. Now he's over here. Now he finished his triceps. Now he's doing push-ups. Now he's done with there. Now he's on the row machine. Wow, now he's over here shadow boxing. Wow, now he's farmer carrying. Damn, this motherfucker don't stop. And that's what kept me going, is I don't stop. I have a motor. I have a tremendous baseline of cardio. Now, with that being said, I haven't trained since May. Now, talking about the row machine, we're on our second leg, right? We're on our sixth one. Now we're doing the 1,000 meter row. You know what I mean? And that was easy to me. Like, I rested there. I rested, and I was just, those last 1,000 meter rows felt like nothing. Like, now I was not pulling hard. I was not racing, guys. Now the people that were there, the athletes that does Hyrox, those guys were bam, bam, bam. They were, every single station was, they were trying to beat maybe their PR. I don't train like that, but it is extremely impressive to see these athletes. The motor they have, you know, is incredible. It is remarkable how they train with the intensity, and they keep that level, that output throughout. It's a great testament to the human spirit, right? Okay, so we finished, and we were on our last mile. We're running our last mile, our last half mile that gets us to 3.5 miles. I was very happy to finish that. You know what I mean? Like, I knew that after this is our last one, the sun was already going down. You could see the thunder rolling in. You could see the lightning. We did not get rained on. We finished, you know what I mean? And the wall ball guys. Now we're on the wall balls, okay? Let me show you something. Because I have videos of that. Okay, here we go. Okay, you see that? This is where we're at now, guys, okay? Now, you see, that's me. Me right there. You see me just hanging out? I'm not really, I'm just casually, bam. Now, the people around me, guys, they're athletes. They're all athletes. This is what they do, guys. This is what they do. And I just kind of like reminded myself, I was like, dude, you used to do this at the gym after boxing. I could have been there probably for 30 minutes, guys. I could have been there just bam, bam, bam. And that's what I'm talking about, as the motor, you know what I mean? This was the last wall balls, you know? And I remember, guys, I did lunges with spaghetti legs, the burpees. Remember I was telling you how fucking tired I was? And then to finish with the wall balls, I was impressed. Because look, I'm going all the way down. You know? My knees, my legs are bent at 90 degrees. Now I'm tall, guys. I don't know, like, I was making sure I was bending my knees and going 90 degrees. You know what I'm saying? I was making sure I was doing that. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to emphasize to go down because the people are watching you, guys. There's a coach. They're watching you. Like, the guys that are not participating, they're watching you. And if you don't go all the way down, like you're not parallel, your knees, no rep. It don't count. It don't count. No rep. So I was tired there, guys, believe it or not. But I finished strong, you know? I'm so tall. They said, so the men had to hit the brown line. The women hit the black bottom line. Some women were like pushing, like, I see how tall and beneficial that is, guys. You know what I mean? But look at this athlete. Look at her. Look at her. Look at the motor on her. Remember, they've done so much already. And look at them. Look at the fucking energy that she has, bro. More than me. More than me. But remember, guys, I don't train like that. You know, I don't train like that. So I went in there to finish, you know. Let's watch it again, guys. I want you to see her. Look at her fucking motor, guys. Look at it. Look at her performance, dude. Remember, she's probably already ran 2 miles. Look at her. Look at her on the side. Look, she's gonna come out here in a minute. Watch. Look at her moving. Look at her hands. Bam. Look at her legs. Bam. Look at her pulling. Bam. Look at her legs extended. Bam. She's moving faster than me, and I'm just casually, bam. You know, their motor, bro, is impressive. I did not go to race with them, guys. I did not go to show ego. I did not go to say, oh, well, I got a boxing motor and I know how to box 12 rounds and I can do it. I did not go there. I did not mention any of that to them. You know what I'm saying? I went over there to finish. That's it. Last set, I did the last 25 set. So for the last wall balls, I did sets of 25. I had to do 75 of them, and that was impressive, guys. And I did it collective. When I walked up to the wall, to the medicine ball, thinking about doing 75 of them was like, that's a lot. That's a lot. And you done it so much. But then I thought, this is all you got to do. And then I thought, okay, well, I started off slow. I said, do 7 sets of 7 sets of 10 and rest. Once I got to 10, I felt good. Like I was like, just keep going. Once I got to 20, I was like, do 5 more. And then once I got 25, I rested and I said, man, that's already a quarter. You did really good. Great job. Rested for like maybe a minute, 40 seconds. I don't know. And then knocked out the second one. You know what I mean? And we did it. You know what I'm saying? That was really impressive to me, guys. It was great. Let me show you this. Let me show you the live stream for those of you who did not see it. I want you to see. So here we go, guys. This is how much calories I burned. This is how long it took me to finish everything. My heart rate peaked. It recorded my heart rate at its highest at 195 beats a minute. That's a lot. 195, nigga. Do you know what's the maximum heart rate? It's 220. 220 beats a minute is your maximum heart rate. I got up to 195, and that was in the beginning of the race. Maybe I was nervous, maybe I was nervous a little. Maybe I was, worried about people watching me. I don't know. Maybe I was embarrassed, but I hit 195 when I was doing the skis. You know what I mean? But that's how long it took me, guys. There's a lot of people, bro, who go to the gym and they go to the gym 5 days a week and they don't even burn 1,000 calories. Like, how are you gonna burn 1,000 calories, dude, if you're just lifting weights? You don't burn a lot of calories lifting weights. Now you do burn calories lifting weights, but you don't burn it like you do if you were to be like do performance exercises. If you're not training like an athlete, you're just lifting weights. You know what I mean? You're gonna have a look to you, a certain look. And for me, like I said at the beginning of the stream, for me that doesn't work. I don't like the bulk. I don't like the mass. I want to be an athlete. I want my muscles to be able to be at its highest performance level. Performance training is what I train for performance that transitions to everything you do in life, whether it's rock climbing, whether it's fighting, knowing you're conditioned to either knock a motherfucker out within 10 seconds because you understand boxing and you understand technique and you understand if you do this feint, he drops, and okay, I got him now. You know what I mean? Or if it goes long, if it goes, you're fighting for over 2 minutes, I'm conditioned. This nigga's he's gonna gas out. Let me get him to throw punches, and when he's gassed out, I got him. Like, to me, that's the strength that I train for, is performance at all aspects of life, guys. And I don't feel like lifting weights does that. I think it's actually restricted to your movement and your flexibility and your performance, your explosiveness. There's some athletes there that are different. You know what I mean? I'm speaking in general terms. Now there are exceptions, guys. But like, you see, now the effort, the watch says that I went all out. I did not. But that goes off my base, like off a generic base of like your age, of my age, and it says that according to my age that I went all out, because people my age, that heart rate's like high, I guess. I don't know. That's what I asked the AI. I was like, why does it say I went all out when I didn't? And that's what he broke it down to me. Okay, so I want you guys to see this. Look, you see my heart rate. Maximum heart rate was 174. It got up to 195. That was the highest right there. Bam. 195. And that was the beginning. That was the sleds. You see, but then we ran, when we stopped, see, that was my rest. And then we started running. Ran again right here. And then this is the lunges right here. That's my first set of lunges. My second set of lunges sucked. Fucking sucked, bro. I remember when I was like on rep 17, 20, I went down on my left knee, and when I came up, I like wobbled, and I'm like, fuck, man, I still gotta go, 4 more links, like, fuck, that's crazy. Like, this is, wow, I actually thought, like, this is tougher than what I thought it was gonna be. But then I remembered, like, you gotta keep moving, dude. I remember after my 4th link, after I finished my 5th link, I like stopped because I was doing 2 sets. I was doing two links, and then I would rest. After my 5th one, I was like, I rested, and I rested for like maybe 10, 15 seconds, and then I told myself, you can't rest. You gotta move, dude. You gotta move, and that's just my mind. Like, I tell myself, I know I'm capable of more because I have this motor, this engine, and this mindset, bro, of this mindset of like, keep going, you got it, dude. You like, something tells me there's a voice inside of me. I have somebody inside of me, like my ego, or somebody who cheers me on, and that nigga's a killer. He's a motherfucking killer. Like, and that's what I tell you guys sometimes, that boxing saved my life, because I have a lot of anger issues, and boxing has taught me self-control and a path of release of that anger. If I think I'm this and that, if I think I'm the shit, if I think I'm hard, if I think I'm this, if I'm that, okay, nigga, we'll go spar. Go spar somebody who can probably kick your ass. Go spar somebody who's bigger than you, who's been boxing longer, that somebody that you can be intimidated of. Oh, and then I'll think, well, he has more years, or he's more. Oh, yeah, okay, then, bro. Well, then you're not as tough as you think you are. You need to be humble, and it always puts me back into this. It gives me like, it makes me humble. It puts me back into my frame of like why I do these things, and I don't do it to win like authority or to intimidate others, because it's not by any means why I started boxing. I did it because I love boxing. I love the sport since I was a kid. Boxing has always been one of my favorite, probably the favorite sport besides basketball. But as I got older, I stopped watching basketball, and I always kept boxing. So I would say boxing is my favorite sport. But look at that. I want you to see this, zone 5. You see that? An hour at 167 beats per minute. You see that? That's incredible, guys. That right there is amazing. But for those of you who've watched me stream my sessions, you would have seen that when I would go and I would train, guys, when I would not train for this, when I was going to the gym, I stayed in zones 4 and 5. I was in there for over an hour. Maybe zones 4, I was in zones 4 more. I was in zones 4 for probably like 40 minutes, and then zones 5, I'll be in it for like 20 to 15 minutes. Now, for me to be 167 beats per minute over an hour, and to maintain that's performance, baby. That's performance. That's you maintaining a level of output for over an hour. You know what I'm saying? That's incredible, guys. For me, now for some of you that are watching this, you're probably thinking, oh, this motherfucker ain't nothing. I can do it. I can do that. And I do it. Awesome. That's great for you, bro, because you've probably been training longer than I have. Remember, I didn't train for this. Okay? And I say it again. And I say it again. I did not train for this, guys. Okay. Do I have any questions on Twitch? No. Do I have any questions on Kick? No, not at all. What about YouTube? No. But I appreciate you guys in here watching me, guys. Thank you so much. I'm about to wrap it up. That's impressive, guys. For me, that's gangster. You know, I'm really impressed with that. You know, let me show you how it looked. I want to show you something. Okay, I'm over here trying to take that off. This was when I finished. Let me show you when I started. Let me show you this, okay? Check it out. Now, it might cut off, but let's see. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure the audio is on. Can you guys hear that? Oh, hold on. Here it goes.
You're gonna go live, but you're not live. No, baby. I don't know if you can hear me right now, but we're live here at Hyrox 432. I don't think you can hear me, but we're here. Let's check it out. If you run and jog back, or like if you walk it back, they don't count. You have to be running.
But they'll probably tell you what you're doing.
Smoking a cigarette. Okay. So I don't start for about another hour. I'm gonna have to sit for an hour because we have a start time at 8. They've already started. The first leg just went, but we're gonna get started in about an hour and a half into my start time. Now, I'm not gonna record it. I can't live stream it. I can't live stream it because I'm gonna be running with the camera, and we're inside like a warehouse, and I don't know if the signal's strong enough. You know what I'm saying? So what I'll do is just probably record the stations and not record the running, because I don't want y'all motherfuckers looking at me run and the camera doing this shit. Okay, that's why I don't want to run, because I ain't gonna be holding the camera, and that's not good. That's not good content. You know what I'm saying? And I think about you guys. So what I'll do is probably just take videos whenever I'm in my station. I'm not gonna record the running, because just believe it, like nigga, I'm gonna run. You know what I mean? Like, you cannot go to another station unless you finish running. You know what I'm saying? But we're here, baby. Let me know in the chat how you doing, and we'll get started whenever it starts. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta chill for an hour and a half, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if we can go over here. Check it out. Yeah, that's about at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is my start time, and that's whenever we'll get going. You can if you want. If you like, set your notifications so whenever I do release a video, you are gonna see when I go live, when it goes live. Give me 1 second. How's everybody doing in the chat, baby? Are y'all good? Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? You see, now they're done. They're done. They finished. You see that? Everybody's gone.
They're gone.
Everybody's gone. So now they're running again. Let me show you. Let me show you. So you have to run. It's like 2 laps. It's like 800 meters. It's not bad. But if I were you guys, if you're interested in this shit, set your notifications because I'm gonna be uploading videos every 20, 30 minutes. But again, I just wanted to show you guys we're here, and I'll probably go live here in about maybe about 20 minutes before I get going. But this is just letting you guys know that we're here. Signing off. You cheer for me, or you think I'm gonna finish it? You think I will finish it? You think I won't? Let me know in the chat. All right, baby? I'll talk to y'all later. I gotta go get ready. All right? Let's go. Yeah, share the post. Ask for a follow. That's so funny. Oh, that's so funny. That they tell you on X that you can't do any engagement farming, but then I hit the menu bar and it says ask for a follow, ask for a stream, ask for a share. Start they're going engagement farming, all right? But hey guys, I appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out. I'll holler at y'all later whenever we get going, all right, baby?
Okay. Okay, you can hear me? Now, the reason I laugh, guys, is because, I don't know. The reason I laugh is because when I went to go turn off the stream, there's little 3 dots, like the menu, the prompt menu to like turn off the stream, because I was looking for like to turn it off and I couldn't find it, but I saw on the top right, there's the 3 dots and I clicked it. And one of the options was in stream. Okay, so I found it. But there was 3 other options. One of them was ask for a follow and ask for a share. And then they just, that same day, everyone was talking about, they changed the rules that you can't engagement farm. You cannot ask for follows. If you were to like post a follow for follow, or if you were to type to somebody like in their comments, like follow me back, that's engagement farming. And I thought it was funny because it's on the menu. It's prompted by the people who designed this bullshit app that, you know, the exact thing that they don't want you to do, it's prompted in their fucking app to ask for a follow, to ask for a share. It's really stupid, guys, but these niggas don't know nothing about human relationships. They're like engineers, guys. They only know technical stuff. These guys grow up antisocial. They don't have much friends, you know, they don't know human interaction, you know, but what they did was boost themselves, you know, because I guarantee you, before Elon owned X, he didn't have the followers he had. Before anyone knew who Nikita was, he didn't have the followers he had. You know what I mean? And they boosted themselves. It's crazy, bro, but it is their app. They can do whatever the hell they want with it. And I use it for certain things, you know. I use it for distribution and to get my content out. But is it the best social media platform? Is it the best avenue path for growth? I would say if you're building a brand, it's not. It's not. But if you want to be like a reply guy, or you're like a pretty woman, that you could just be a beautiful woman, you know, have sex appeal, and you're gonna grow on X, you know, and we see that all the time. As far as like for genuine connection, X is not the app for it. You know, I feel like TikTok is a better platform. YouTube is probably the #1 platform to grow yourself, who you are. Because people, when they log on to TikTok, when they log on to YouTube, when they log on to Twitch, they're looking for a creator to connect with. These guys are looking for long form content. These people are looking to, when they log on Twitch, they're looking to leave their app on and watch you. X is not that. X is not someone sticking around for your entire live stream. X is scrolling. X is GNing, reply guy, and none of the replies really are authentic. They're just in and out, in and out, in and out. If you want connection, if you're trying to build a brand, go to YouTube, Twitch, TikTok. Those three right there. Those are the fastest growing. I've grown on those apps faster than what I've grown on X. You know what I mean? Now on Kick, I had a separate account on Kick and I got locked out of it. But I had more followers than what I have right now. And I felt kind of like I was like down on myself. Oh, I got to start over. I don't have any followers. But then I thought, dude, if you did it once, you can do it again. You know what I mean? But my entire feed on the other Kick is not like how it is now. So I like my feed now because the other feed on Kick was just gym stuff. You know, that's it. Just me going to the gym. But this is how, when I finished, guys, this is when I finished, and check out the difference of what I finished. Here we go.
It's up to you. And I can oh, you went before us, huh?
Yeah, I was like 30 minutes before you went.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just hard, bro.
It's still horrible.
It's just hard. What got me, because I don't do squats or the lunges. Lunges.
Yeah.
I used to do squats with a 30-pound dumbbell, and I would put it over, but I only did 6 reps. And 6 reps was 1 set, and I would do 3. You know.
Yeah, that's tough. It gets to you.
Yeah, it's just gangster, bro. It's tough, you know. It's performance, dude.
Especially like with the run in between.
Fuck yeah, because you don't stop.
Now you gotta go run.
Yeah, and you feel it. You feel it when all this shit. And like I told you before, you feel me. You feel where you're weakest at. You know, your strength. You're supposed to do good where you straight. You know what I mean? You're weak.
Go Z, come on, Shell.
So that's good. So you want to go get a bag? Huh? Give me mine too. Okay, we just finished. My time was an hour and 26 minutes. It took me to do all that shit. Now, remember, I don't train like that, you know, but it shows me where I need to work. It shows me my weaknesses and where I should train. But in all, it was great. Let me show you the facility. The elite athletes are going right now. And I did an intermediate session. Check it out. This is the last station right here. After you do all that shit, this is where we at.
That bitch, my face wasn't in it. Damn, bitch, two scams all beat. Bands in my hand, no green. Hit another band on the gram, my bitch. When I was broke, now she fronted. But then I got rich and I hit it. Homie, I'm bands, I keep it. Weed is so strong, I feel like I'm Popeye off the spinach. I cut the corner and bend it. Bitch, I'm a menace like Dennis. Don't sell me pussy, I
Okay. As you see, they're still going. People were starting in like 30 seconds intervals. So they started like at 6:30 p.m. I didn't go till 8. Now, we finished at an hour and 20. I'll give it. I don't do this. I don't train like this, but my goal was to finish. And I finished in like an hour and 14 minutes or an hour. I think it was an hour and 14 or an hour and 20. I don't remember, but I did not go hard. I went about maybe 60% of what I could because I knew it was going to be long. And I didn't want to start strong and then not have anything left over to finish. So that was the main goal. I hope you guys can hear me because shit is loud in here, but I think you can. So I'm extremely proud of myself that I did something that was challenging, intimidating, and new to me. I trained myself to keep my composure and to control my breathing, and I've always trained for endurance. My last half mile, I got a cramp in my right calf, so I kept going. The last thing I did after that cramp was that ball, and we had to do 75 of them. After burpees, broad jumps, sled pull, and we're pulling sleds with 4 plates. That's 45 pounds per plate plus the sled. So, am I impressed with myself? Yeah, I am. But did I think I couldn't do it? No, I knew I could do it. Once I paced myself, and I just relied on my entire training session from my entire life. Everything that I've trained brought me to where I'm at right now. But I finished, baby. And I wish I could have live streamed it for you, but there's no way I could have because nobody here is live streaming. Everyone's focused. And I don't feel like it would have been due diligence to the athletes here and to my partner, you know. So I didn't want to do that. But I'm glad I was present and I took it in. And for me being new to this, man, I'm pretty good. I'm glad I'm here. So those of you that are here, thank you for hanging out with me. I might be on later on tonight in live stream and do my post reaction to this. But if not, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna give me a big old fucking dinner and eat a big old slice of cake. Is that the badge? You finished? Check it out. We got a badge because it's finished. We finished that. You see that? Yeah, finished. So don't think that I said that I finished and I didn't do it, okay? I didn't steal it.
Okay, now, I think I was going to show you something else, but I think that's it. Yeah, because that was it. What I wanted to show you was, so one thing I did not say, oh yeah, okay, here we go. One thing I did not say, guys, is my last lap, I got a cramp in my right calf. My last lap, I got a cramp, you know, and I could not run. My last lap, I could not run. I had to walk it out. I got a cramp, but it was perfect timing, guys. Like if I would have went hard in the beginning, I don't know if I could have finished. I don't think so. I don't know because, like I said, my last lap, I got a cramp, and we know what's funny. When I finished, I went to take off my shoes. So I untied my shoes and I had my slides there. And when I went to take off my shoes, when I arced my foot to take it off, to take off both sides, my right foot and my left shoe, right? I got cramps in both calves. And I remember sitting down, bro. And I was sitting down and as soon as I felt the cramp, I was like, oh, damn. And I extended my legs, you know, to like stretch them out. And I'm just there sitting with my legs stretched out and I have a cramp and I can't stand up. And I remember thinking to myself, should I tell somebody to help me? Because I have a cramp. And as soon as I thought that, I was like, dude, it'll go away, man. It'll go away. Give it about a couple seconds. That cramp lasted over 60 seconds, and then finally it went away. I stood up. Once I stood up, it felt better. But you see, I got a cramp in both of my calves. So can you imagine I think if I would have went harder, I think I would have got those cramps somewhere there. I know I would have. I know I would have. I believe I would have. But great. If you listen to what I was saying, I said that I paced myself, and that was the number one thing that I was not impressed with myself, because I knew I could do it if I paced myself. If I went in there with an ego, if I went in there with like thinking, oh, I do other things and I'm gonna show these guys that my training's better than them, I would have gassed out. I don't know if I would have made it. You know what I mean? Because as you see, everything gets harder. Like, look at that. You start off like that, and as you get going, you have your, like, to me, this was the hardest for me. And then from here was hard. These right here I've done before, but these three right here, I've never done skier G's before. I've never done these types of lunges with like for links. I've never done it before. So one link, if you're just getting here, I just see some people coming in. When you do a link, it's not, you like, I would say one link is like 7 reps. You know what I mean? And it's, you got to do the 12 times. So you do 7 times 12. You get it, man. That's a lot. That's almost 80 reps, bro. And you're doing it within 15 minutes. Like, I saw people that there was a lot of people there their first time, and I saw people do the lunges, and they were there for 20-25 minutes, but they completed it. And then once they finished, they would go run. You know what I mean? It is crazy, dude. It's like the amount of energy, the gas, the conditioning these guys have, man. It's remarkable, and it puts things into perspective that we as humans are capable of so many great things, bro. If you fucking challenge yourself, you gotta get out of your motherfucking comfort zone, nigga. If you're not out of your comfort zone, you will never grow mentally, physically, spiritually. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you gotta take risks, but educated ones. Now, my thumbnail's a little deceiving, because be like, you didn't train at all? I didn't train for this, no. But when I started the stream, I told you my background. I've been working out. I've been like doing some sort of exercise, going to the gym for at least 4 years now. I wasn't always a gym guy. Like, I wasn't always into fitness, bro. I was like a workaholic, nigga. That's all I did was work. Like, I just worked 16 hours a day. I would come home and maybe play some PlayStation, whatever I did, you know what I mean? Like, I was never who I was in the last 4 years. COVID changed my entire life, bro. COVID like was the beginning of like who I am today, because right around COVID, right before COVID, guys, I don't know what happened to me, but I was reading something about money. Like, I have a nephew, and he's really big into like money and understanding money. And at that time, we were getting into like the Federal Reserve, and I saw this lecture. I'll have to find the lecture, but the lecture was basically about like the bank doesn't have the money it says it has. So like, let's say you go and you deposit money into like the drive-through of a bank, and you go and you deposit $100. The guy behind you asks for, he makes a deposit, but he also asks for $100 back. They're gonna give them they could probably give them the money you just gave them. And doesn't that go into an account? Like you have your own little private box. Okay, he came in, customer A came in, he has $5,000 in his bank account. He just deposited 100. Now let's get this $100 bill and put it in his box. This is his box. Only the money he puts in and takes out goes into this box. It doesn't work like that, guys. The bank does not have the fucking money it says it has, and it really scared me. It made me read more into like money and understanding like how money works. And I got into bonds, reading about bonds and just the Federal Reserve, and it scared the shit out of me. And at that time, maybe God was with me, bro, because I read about Bitcoin. And a female friend of mine that I was talking to at this time was from Japan, and she asked me, so how much Bitcoin do you own? She just assumed because I was American that I had Bitcoin, you know? And she was the one who put me on Bitcoin. She said, so how much Bitcoin do you have? And I was like, Bitcoin, what is that? And she's like, you don't know what Bitcoin is? And I said, no. And she said, wow, you're pretty smart. I would have thought you had Bitcoin. And I said, no, I don't know what it is. And she explained it to me. And I asked her, well, how much is a Bitcoin? She said, $6,000. And I was like, well, I'm not going to spend $6,000 on a fucking Bitcoin. And she said, you don't have to. You can buy $2 worth right now if you wanted to. You can start off with $2 if you wanted to. And when she said that, I was like, okay. So I downloaded Coinbase and I bought like maybe $10, $20 of Bitcoin. And when I woke up the next day, it like went up like $2 to $5. And I remember looking at it, I was like, wow, my money grew overnight. That was enough evidence that I needed to go all in Bitcoin. The next day, that morning when I woke up, I went to my bank and I closed my account. I took all my fucking money out and I bought Bitcoin. I went all into fucking Bitcoin, you know? And that was the beginning of who I am today, because my entire life changed. Because before that, I was working so much. You know, I was working in the oil field. I had a great job. I was hauling crude oil. And for those of you who don't know, people who have their CDLs, their big trucks, people who drive big trucks, commercial vehicles, hauling crude oil is the #1 job. I would say that, or hauling sand. If you're hauling sand to oil locations, but hauling crude oil, like hauling sand is different because that's like for drilling, the people that are drilling new wells. When you're hauling crude oil, you're taking oil out of oil wells that have been there hundreds of years. Those guys will never lose their jobs. There's always going to be a truck driver hauling crude oil. And right before I made my decision, because before I was hauling crude oil, I was always driving. I was always in the oil field, making money driving for an oil company. And as I got older, I thought to myself, well, if I'm going to drive, I want to have the best job possible. And I did a toss-up between the two. I was like, do I want to haul sand or do I want to haul crude oil? And a lot of people would say hauling sand is easier because you don't ever get out of your truck. Let me say that again. Some people who drive trucks go and they haul sand as a truck driver, you know, working in the oil field, because they don't have to get out of their truck, because it's easy. That's crazy, bro. Like, to think like that. Like, you just want, I don't explain it, dude. Like, I don't want to get into that. So I got into hauling crude oil, and it taught me a lot about work ethic. Not that I didn't already have it, but I was already used to working 14, 16 hours a day, every day, physically. So all that, bro, prepared me my entire life up until COVID, prepared me for this. I was never somebody who wanted an easy way to earn money or to gain recognition. I wanted to earn my praise. You understand? My props. I wanted to earn it with consistency and work ethic. But right before COVID, bro, like, I just got into thank God, by the grace of God, bro, I was around the right people. I don't even talk to that girl anymore. Not that we got off on bad terms, but she got married and she's now doing her own thing. And I think she moved back to Japan. She married an American guy, and they went back. I think they went back to Japan. But shout out to her, man. Shout out to Erica. Erica was a cool person. When me and her were talking, me and her were cool. We were cool. We did not leave on bad terms. You know what I mean? I think at that time, bro, I was just like young. I wasn't like really young, but I was just like a single guy. You know, I wasn't just, I wouldn't stay tied to one girl. Like if I was talking to one female, I wouldn't just talk to her. If I didn't have an exclusive relationship, meaning I did not have a serious girlfriend, I'd be talking to multiple women and probably, and I don't want to get into it. It's not about that. But what I'm saying is, thank God, because it brought me full circle. COVID changed my life and it brought me to who I am today. So don't be afraid or shy of challenges, of change, of putting your best foot forward, of having effort. You know, you understand that? Like you gotta have effort. You gotta put your best foot forward. You gotta be able to perform. You understand? I'm looking at the chats, guys. I don't have any more questions. I thank you so much for all the questions though that I did receive. You know, that means a lot to me, guys, that you guys come in here and even just share, you know. Yeah, thank you, Arcane. Thank you, Arcane, so much for stopping by. It means a lot, dude. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you, sir. It means a lot to me, bro. Thank you. But we don't have any more questions, man. But I went through the entire process of the training. Now, like I said, the thumbnail could be deceiving, guys, but I started off from the beginning and I gave you a lot of my background of what led me to be able to finish this. Now, I said with no training, it didn't mean that I didn't train for 30 years and I just said, oh, I'm gonna go try this. It doesn't mean, I don't know, bro, because my heart rate got up to 195. Somebody who doesn't eat right, doesn't train consistent, or doesn't train at all, for them to just go and experience 195 beats per minute, shit, and then they don't know how to breathe, bro, you're asking for trouble, dude. Like people like that should not. I'm like I said, I'm a certified personal trainer. If somebody just barely walked into the gym and they're looking to get in shape, I would never get them to go that high in their heart rate. You know what I mean? I would teach them, I don't know, walking. It just depends on them. It just depends on their level of fitness and their intensity. You know what I mean? Let me turn that down because my eyes are hurting. But hey, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I want to shout out to Jaina, to Arcan, to OX. Thank you so much for your comments and your participation in my stream. It means a lot. Thank you so much. It's OXWW. Thank you, guys. Again, Chanel, thank you for the like. That means a lot to me. You guys come in here and engage. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Now I'm out. I'm going to go ahead and get me some more rest. You know what's funny, guys? When I woke up this morning from there, I slept for like 7 straight hours. I wasn't sore. I did the live stream of the World Cup, and then I ate again, and I went back to sleep. I woke up, and I was sore. Right now, I'm really sore from my calves. My ass is sore, and my hamstrings and my quads are sore. That tells me those are my weaknesses, you know, and I'm going to start working on those, but I'm going to finish my calisthenic 90-day plan. My goal, I'm sure there's some people out there who are like, oh, he hasn't done calisthenics. He posts every day how much calisthenics. The reason I haven't is because I was resting for this. I did not want to injure myself, you know. So I took 3 days off from calisthenics, you know, so I can prepare myself for this and be fresh when I started, you know. Now, I recovered today. I didn't do anything. I'll recover tomorrow and then I'll get back into my calisthenics. But the goal for the calisthenics for the 90 days, my goal was never to do calisthenics every day. It was the ultimate goal was to do 10 clean pull-ups, you know, 10, but I was going to give it 90 days. You know what I'm saying? So that's why if anybody's asking or wondering like, oh, this guy used to whatever, but everything I do has structure and purpose. You know, I'm motivated by truth. Now that I feel my quads and my hamstrings and my calves and my ass are sore, those are probably things that I'll work on once I finish my calisthenics, you know. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me, baby. I really do appreciate every single one of you who come out here and chill out with your boy DeFi-G. Peace and love, man. I'm gonna get some sleep. One love, guys. I love every single one of you guys who come out here and hang out. Get some rest.